if I want to connect with God, why would I not, why I'm not able to do it directly? Why do I need a middle man for that, or a middle person for that? I mean, why is not God picking up my calls? What is wrong?
Well, all of us, you're touching upon something very true. All of us have an inherent connection,
Okay.
right? God is not separate from all of us. God is, a part of our own soul, our own consciousness, right? But we can see varying levels of consciousness, which determine the level of divine grace we can harness in our lives that can, influence our destiny, our fate and fortune, right? So that's when we get into higher levels of consciousness. So it's not like God doesn't exist. God is there, but you can say to varying degrees of evolution, right, within our own beings and our ability to tap into that resource easily. And so everybody, when they come to this planet, right, we come as children, we come very innocent and pure, right? That's our natural blueprint, right? And everybody has that. And that's when you see children, they're in their most free state. They're in their, purest state. And you see in that, they don't have a single worry in the world. They have no fear of the future, no uncertainty, so long as they have a good relationship with their parents, right? They feel set in life. They're full of freedom, and they exhibit that. They're unbridled ambition and enthusiasm and motivation, huge creativity. They're connected with this strong source of life, right? They have huge energy. They heal faster, right? Everything about them, it seems like that's the peak of life, is when you're a child. And then you cross into the majority of your life, and it seems everything is a downhill, fall from there, a decline. And a large part of that is because we have ignored and misunderstood a vital part of life, right? Which is consciousness, right? When you misunderstand a vital part of life where true wellness and true well-being comes from, right? And you're operating in a world that doesn't have that kind of context, right? That is lost its touch with those divine principles and fundamentals. It's very hard to keep up with that evolution on your own, right? And so as a result, through improper nurturing, through a poor environment, through just the lives we lead, through trauma, things like that, we become more and more disconnected, right? So I like to say it's like you have this presence within you and it gets muddied. It's like this cloud, this cover that covers it. And while everybody can, evolve their consciousness, it's to the degree and the fast,
It
right?
depends
The
on the
speed.
level.
The speed and the level by which we can evolve it to. I would say the requirement for everybody is to have that innocence and purity that determines your conductivity, your ability to harness and being able to evolve at faster rates. But I strongly believe that when you have somebody who's established there, right, you already have somebody. I like to give an example of an ice cube. Right? You have an ice cube sitting on a table by its own. It will dissolve, it will melt on its own. But you take an ice cube and you put it in a glass or a bowl of water, and it's going to dissolve a lot faster, very quickly. So in the same way, right, when we're stuck in a specific type of consciousness, right, you can imagine it, it's like this structure that binds us in a certain state of being in a certain way in life, like with a certain destiny or fate and fortune. And it's almost impossible. And we've tried this, habits, patterns, things in life, very difficult to break, right? It takes a huge amount of willpower, and people are limited in willpower, as well as ability to be able to transcend certain situations in life, right? So we work with what we have, and whatever we have, we get depleted very quickly. So you have somebody who's established within that consciousness, like a glass or a bowl of water, then what happens is that dissolution, that transformation is very quick. And so it's like a jumper cable that's connecting you to that authority. The transformation comes through that connection, your own connection to God. It's not like we are standing, in place of God, that we're like a new God. It's more like we are simply helping with that connection. We are facilitating it. We're making it stronger. And all the benefits people receive in their lives, whether it be an object, an organism, a microbe, non-living material, a crop, plant, tree, human, no matter what it is, the moment you're able to establish that connection and raise that consciousness, then you see the outcome, and that's measurable.
Yeah, that's why, in India, they say you need a guru in life or a teacher in life to show the direction, to show the correct path and to guide you.
Yes.
And I think you have described it very well.